Ever had one of those weeks where everything falls apart? I lost my Superhost badge, my building turned into a mess, and now I'm basically just apartment hunting. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been over 2 weeks since I last posted, and a lot has happened in that time. From losing my Superhost status badge due to a rooster all the way to like now looking for like a new apartment for my listing. It's been a complete roller coaster. So today I'm just catching up with you all, sharing what has been going on behind the scenes, and I might also share a bit about what is to come up next from here. So let's start with this rooster situation because this one deserves its own episode. Basically, on the Airbnb platform, I'm still meeting the rating requirement, but due to some unfortunate noise complaints and some identified listing problems, I got my superhost status removed. So the noise complaint involved the rooster. Again, the listing is not next to any form of like animal farm. So I don't know where this came from. Anyways, I know it sounds ridiculous, but this thing is real. To be fair, I'm taking this as a lesson and I'm learning more and more that hosting comes with a lot of surprises, and some of these surprises apparently have feathers and are gonna be waking you up at 5 a.m. And obviously, I also went on Reddit to rant about that, like in the like short-term rental hosting community, and a bunch of people backed me up because this thing didn't really make any sense when you think about it. Um, but again, there isn't much I can do. If you're having issues with like noise and roosters wherever you're staying, I'll think that you would inform the host during your stay and not just leave it in a review or whatever. But anyways, people have different ways of doing things, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now here is where things get a little bit complicated because I'm currently in the process of vacating one of my Airbnb units and relocating uh, because honestly the property management company and the buildings like has a bunch of issues. We have reported those issues. It seems like people are super slow. This thing is not making sense anymore from like a service perspective. If the place is shit, like I'm not gonna host people there. It makes no sense. It has to be good quality or I'm not hosting people like at all. I can't associate my name with like shitty listings. You know, when it starts becoming one problem every week and there is no clear sight of solutions, it's no longer worth it, in my opinion. So right now I'm looking for a new location next month in Abidjan. It's tedious. There's a lot of like analyzing and researching and trying to find the next good unit, doing all these things just because you just don't want to get burned, because you can easily get burned in this business. Meanwhile, I was actually in New York City this weekend. Finally, it was good to take a small break from all the hosting chaos, refreshing break, much needed break. I got to meet people from across the hospitality industry, hotel managers, investors, short-term rental hosts, pretty much people from all over the world. And it was refreshing to kind of like see all these different people all in one place and like learning and hearing out all of their perspectives. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I'm part of the Cornell Hotel Society, which connects hospitality professionals globally. So these meetups are quite eye-opening. You get to stay up to date with like industry trends. And of course, I have to talk about this one. New York traffic. Man, like I thought West Africa was bad. I mean, specifically like Abidjan with motos just like weaving through traffic or people just crossing carelessly like across the street sometimes. But there, like in New York, we're talking about like a constant honking competition. Everyone's car horn has its own personality. It's so chaotic, but it's also funny in a New York type of way, you know? One cool thing I noticed during my conversations this weekend is how much West African travel is becoming like interesting. A bunch of folks are talking about flying out to Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, or even like Ivory Coast. Honestly, like as a host in that region, it's really like exciting. I love to see that the region is starting to get more international attention because that is what we need right now. That being said, it's not been all like sunshine because Abidjan and Paris, specifically Ivory Coast and France, there's been some issues when it comes to the airlines and the flight schedules. So, in recent news, Ivory Coast came out with the Air Cote d'Ivoire flights, and since they're trying to like have those flights go to Paris, Air France, and other like French airlines that used to like take over all that market, they're not super fond of these new developments. So, anyways, there is beef, things are stagnant, the flight schedules are looking blurry. In other words, that's affecting me and my customer base because most people that are flying into Abidjan are coming from France, especially while looking at the short-term rental data. To be fair, this is one of those like external factors that you cannot really control, but at the end of the day, it's gonna affect your pricing strategy and occupancy, and you just have to go through it, unfortunately. Looking ahead, I'm trying to experiment with new types of stays because currently my units have been more so focused on groups and like families. Now I'm just pretty much trying to test out different niches to see like what is gonna stick, especially if the numbers make sense. So stay tuned because once I find the right unit, I'm definitely gonna share it here. If you've ever lost your Airbnb Superhost badge in a silly way, or just through like a crazy Airbnb like horror story, please drop it in the comments below because I want to hear your story or your version of things. And don't forget to like, subscribe because that rooster episode is definitely gonna come very soon because I'm gonna break everything down regarding that stay. And you're also gonna have a chance to let me know what you think about that. That's it for today's episode. Thank you guys and see you guys next time.